I did promise you from doing the snippet and learn event, the full video from the live trading session from Tuesday the 17th of February. It is now already. Have a look at this. This is a full unvetted, and there's lots of tips and hints and trades that we actually did live. So have a look. Hopefully it will help. Any queries, any questions, put them in the comments below. I answer everything. Enjoy.
I just saw Andy's not in, is he? Yeah, I had problems with Pro Real Time this morning. Did anybody else trying to launch it? Never mind, let's get on. Well, we can see here, the big spike here is the news. The news this morning really is that all doom and gloom really on doom and gloom plus help from defence. So we got the FTSE, UK GDP. It previously was 2.7 allegedly, but it was revised up from 1.7. And I think it was revised up, so it didn't look too bad because the actual GDP coming at 2.86. So it is a lot, a stronger rise in GDP is bearish, a bearish signal, which means it's positive for the FTSE. In other words, it's the pound will be weaker and therefore it'll be cheaper to buy the FTSE, so the FTSE will rocket. And yeah, it looks like it's going to rocket it straight up to my target. To add to the wars and market manipulation by the government from 1.7 to 2.7 is unemployment has employment change has gone from 82,000 per month to 52, so even worse. And then the government have announced they're going to increase the spending by 3% GDP, which has made some of the big boys and the whole defence chain jump 3 or 4% on BE Systems specifically, which is biggest defense business outside of America and the second largest in the world. So when that jumps, it's part of the FTSE constituent. So we've got a bearish signal making the FTSE cheaper to buy. So people are getting into the FTSE because of seen cheapness, and defense stocks flying up as well. So yeah, that's a combination of that has made the FTSE shoot up. Different matter to the DAX. Now, I have an absolute frustrating battle. The AI that I use for getting the summary highlights and the data and the economics is working absolutely fine. The model that I used, I think the term they call it is, it's been retired on the 19th of February for doing all the analytics for the best trades for the day and the best. And obviously, I argue with it most of the time, but it's gone absolutely de-lally. Not only did it not retire on the 18th, they've deleted it completely. And they've decided to put a much more argumentative piece of crap in its place. And I spent the best part of an hour this morning arguing with it, and in the end deleted the model. I'm just not gonna. It's taking up now about an hour and a half of my life every single morning arguing with an AI model that I can do myself anyway. So I'm deleting that from the report until I can actually find or look at a different, away from cheap OpenAI, a different model that will do as it's told and behave, because it keeps telling you that the model I've currently got keeps saying, oh, what about this? What about that? I can add this, I can add that. And it's hallucinating all the time. It's going crazy. So AI models are getting more and more complicated, more and more thinking on their own, and they're really going off piece now. It's getting ridiculous. And to be honest with you, an hour and a half of my time on that aspect of it. I can do half an hour with the summary highlights and all that. That's great. It gives a good overview. But doing the where we're going to trade today, where we're going to go, we're better off just doing it live, because until I can find a model that's going to help me, not hinder, I'm not going to waste effectively 5, 6, 7.5 hours a week arguing with an AI model when I can actually be trading. And this is starting to impact trading. And when that happens, it gets thrown in the bin. Unfortunately, it's been thrown in the bin. So the reports will be as the reports are. Hopefully the scanners will help as well, that are going to be running every day after 9:30 for 15-minute bars and breakouts. Also, I'm going to go over the 15-minute guide as well. But to stop my waffle at the moment, I want to close this gap, and I think the DAX has had bad news, but it should be coming up pretty good. The DAX ATR today is 42, 45 actually. We'll call it. I think we can do a stop of 42, which is not 45, and 48 for the trade there. And I am going to smash the button now, guys. Smash the button now, because we want to be in. And I think we are trading below the 1 hour EMA, 200 EMA, and below the 4 hour EMA. We've got news today on the economic sentiment, which is not particularly huge. But one thing on the DAX is when the DAX has a big down day and there's no real news to follow, it really does generally bounce back. And one of the things on the DAX is that when you get these big pullbacks, it puts the NAV out of kilter, which is the net asset value of the market, because there's when we look, there's not been huge amounts of selling. The market just dropped off because of really America, and I would think the institutions are going to buy this up. There'll be orders, might be wrong, might be orders to buy placed in at well, there might be some early orders put in, but I would think there's some orders to buy on the open. So we should see a closing gap on this. And I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But quite keen on this. And the market, early doors this morning, we know American markets open now, and futures markets are open, which has made an impact early. The Asia Pacific markets, whole of China is shut down, of course, still for the lunar holidays, lunar celebrations, I should say. And let's see what we can do with the DAX. The FTSE has gone meteoric and should come down. But let's have a look at, see if we're going to get the DAX, which has gone fully bearish on 1 and 4 hour, to actually just pop up and close that gap. All right, market's going to be over in 10 seconds. I saw your note, Andy. I had problems starting Pro Real Time this morning. It kept coming up with error page couldn't be found. And the only way to get around it is when you press the button to execute it, as soon as the button comes up for version 11, you've got to hit it very quickly. before the error comes in. It launched, and I don't know why. But yeah, I had problems this morning.
Yeah,
Have you managed to resolve them now?
yeah, I've noticed some of the other members have got problems, but I went into the live web platform, and then up on the right hand side you've got your different accounts. I launched it from there, and it just launched normally. It was fine.
Yeah, mine's just launched just now.
Yeah, it's definitely got issues today.
Yeah, yeah. So I had a trade on. I went on natural gas, and it came on with a massive position, and luckily it went my way, and I closed it out very quickly. But,
yeah. You've got to watch
That's
that
the error that I
quantity.
got. That's
Yeah,
the
no, I
error
didn't
that I
get
got.
that.
The only way to get around the error is a time error on the server.
Oh,
So I'll just turn. Everyone's got
sorry
to
about all that.
mute all. There we go. So we got this is the error that I got this morning. The only way, it's a time error, it's a timeout error on the server. So if you're not cute on pressing that button when you look at launch pro real time, it will time you out. And it timed out with a 404 page. So as soon as you hit pro real time and it says launch, you got to hit it straight away. If you hit it straight away, there is not a problem. But there is a problem with the software. That it's ridiculous. It gives you about 1 second to hit the button. And if you don't hit the button straight away, it says 404 page not found. Obviously, you guys have found workarounds for that. But yeah, real pain in the ass. Obviously, the illustrious IG technical team have been fiddling again.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been messing about.
They've been fiddling away the little scams. They always bugger the system up, and yeah.
Well, this
hopefully quite interesting note I sent to IG and Luke last night. There's a thing that come through, introduce members to IG and get paid. I forgot it was. I don't know what it is, 100 quid or something like that. If you can possibly introduce I wrote to the marketing team, copied to Luke, and just put interest in this one. I'm interested in, is this just tongue-in-cheek taking the mick, or is it real? And I thought, as Luke is fully aware, I've introduced well over 100 different traders over the past 2 or 3 years. So does this mean IG owes me thousands of pounds?
Brilliant.
I don't know if anyone else got the ad.
I did, yeah, I got it, yeah.
A general, was it 100 quid, 50, something like that?
Yeah, five people or something. I didn't really read it. I just hit the delete button. So
yeah, it's shit, really. Yeah.
Yeah, so shit. Yeah,
a bag of shit. So I just wrote tongue in cheek. Does this mean IG owed me hundreds?
Brilliant.
Well, that clause is not correct, is it?
It's the same place as mine.
Is it the same clause as yours?
Yeah, 24800.9. Yeah. I hit the button though.
Look, my clause there is tracking at 24768, and it isn't 768.
No, it's 24786.
Yeah, bloody thing.
Yeah, that's tracking in the wrong place.
And that's changed as well. Current use chart period clause. It's not right, is it?
It's just having little twitches, isn't it?
It's the hell's it doing? Delete. Put it back on again with a red one, and have it on as a time now. Where is the clause now? Where's the clause disappeared to? No,
it's there. It's just really small.
It's there, yeah.
776.2. Yeah, that's it. It's correct now.
Yeah, that's right. No, 80. No, it isn't, because 80.
No, it's not.
No, it's not bloody right. The hell's wrong with it?
But it'd be good in the mid price. Is it giving the mid price?
Ridiculous, isn't it? Bloody ridiculous. Just all right, press that button. So 70, that's it now. Reconfigure. So, well, that come up close, didn't it? It should close. Should close. So we had a high of 97.6 and we wanted 98. And we need the close to come up. That'll be classed as close now, but the orders, as you saw, did come in. So
I hit the button at the daily low.
yeah, I want the close.
Yeah, the yellow is the close, isn't it?
The yellow?
The yellow is the right price, isn't it? One that was showing the yellow, just he's gone there.
Yeah, this is the right one, I think, now, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know why I did it, Clive.
77.6 is 77. Probably I got it on a different computer away from the laptop.
That is slightly different, isn't it? That's mid-price, I think.
Yeah, the yellow one is the current price, I think.
It should be close. It should be the close, yeah.
Yeah.
Get the words out. It's set to mid-price. That's where it is. It's mid-price. Right. Has the FTSE reverted? No, it's on a breakaway on the C-ball after all that bearish news on the pound. Just quickly go and check the bearish news on the pound. That should seen cable come woofing down. Let's have a look. Where is it? That should have shot down. Yes. All the good news on the all the good news on the pound, isn't it? I don't understand why it's just absolute market manipulation when GDP was 1.7. They revised it to 2.7, then put the figures out to 2.8 on the new one. Nevertheless, people aren't that flipping stupid. So that's very bearish for the pound, which means, of course, the FTSE's cheaper to buy. So that'll shoot up the extra on the back of that, of course, with BAE getting lifted, with defense stocks going up and spend on defense going up to 3% of GDP, help the FTSE. You really get on the rah-rah. I want to get on board with the FTSE, but we do need it to get settle down a little bit. So we've still not got anywhere yet with the DAX. I'd like to see the DAX trading above the close to go for a trade on a break above the close on a 5-minute fractal. Gold, I'm in gold. Now, this is one of the things that really irritated me. I'm arguing like mad with the AI tech. And while I'm arguing, I'm missing trades that I would normally get. And that frustrates the hell out of me. I shouldn't be fighting against tech. And OpenAI just keep GPT, which is OpenAI. They just keep updating the models and improving them nearly on a 2-weekly basis. Every time it's got an alleged improvement, it isn't an improvement, it's further advanced reasoning. So when you're doing your prompt engineering, it says, I hear what you're saying, but how about this? Or how about that? No, I don't want how about. I want just give me what I'm asking for. And then you argue with it for probably half an hour. It says, all right, then give me a sample of what I did yesterday. And then hang on a second, you're in a project, you've got memory, look back yourself. Oh, yes. All right. Okay. And then it says, like this morning's example. Oh, yeah, I saw what I did. Yeah. But here's an improvement on it. So I didn't ask you that. I said, Give me the data in the same format as yesterday, please. Oh, are you sure you don't want the enhanced? I think, oh, for God's sake. It's just, I don't know. It's like GPT on steroids, but it gets it wrong. And then it's, I say, okay, give me the report. So it gives you the report. And it's fundamentally wrong. I said, you've got the 1 4 hour wrong. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. Thanks for catching that one. I mean, catching it, you're supposed to do it for me. I can look myself, you know. And it said, oh, right, okay. So I said to it, as an example, I shouldn't have to catch you. Why did you get it wrong? And it said, oh, well, I didn't look. I assumed. I said, where in the request did I ask you to assume everything? Anything? I asked you to factually check it twice. Yes, sorry, I didn't. I guessed because yesterday was okay and I guessed where it would be today. And now, what do I have to do to get you to follow the prompt? And then gets excited and it rewrites another prompt. So if you run this one, it'll be great. And you run that one, and then it comes out with a completely different answer. I can't trust anything that it says. And I'm thinking, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning on my desk at 5:30. I'm spending 1 3/4 hours putting it all together, which is great. I only really need half an hour to do it. The rest of the time's arguing with the bloody tool on whether it's right or wrong. I'm just thinking I might have to put 2 or 3 models together with an interface that's a dialogue that I can argue with it. And then it can argue amongst itself and give me the answer. I don't know what the right answer is, but certainly isn't writing a report with where we were yesterday and what we did today and blah, blah, blah. We can do that in the room. But, you know, the risk sentiment's a good bit. What's happened overnight, the really things that are going to move the markets and the like, that's good. But flipping heck, it frustrates the heck out of me, as you've probably guessed. And I'm wasting 7 hours of my life a week arguing. I'm arguing with a piece of software. It's ridiculous. So while I've been chomping at the bit, we've now got our DAX gap closed. Yippee. So not snatching up profits, going for that gap because it's a gap trade. It's not the daily low. It's not something else. It's the gap. So we've done the gap. So that's good. Now we'll delete that and we'll wait for the market just to punch up a little bit above here, because we are trading under the 1 hour 200 EMA and the 4 hour 200 EMA. And on the close here, we have now, if we can maintain a close here, we can maintain a 4 hour trend, and we can at least head for the pivot then, which would be good. Now, what I would suggest that we could do is, if we get a nice pullback, a healthy pullback, we could then put a call option on today. Because America, it's Washington Day, but you know, everyone refers to it as either Washington or President's Day. The Americans will be biting at the bit to trade, and they'll be on a rah-rah. So that will help pull the DAX up as well. So let's see if we can put a retrace into this level and put some alerts, maybe a 38% retrace. No, 50, at least a 50% retrace would be nice. And then ideally a 61.8% fibber would be nice. And then we can get some call options on. And our call options would be to go for the daily pivot, really, if we can. In fact, we can have a little look at those just this minute. Just alert that. I thought it's probably more useful to a degree when once I get the AI fixed, and it will get bloody fixed. I'm not going to let it beat me. we can do a report like I did yesterday and the day before, whatever, when I get it all working. But it might be more useful me actually doing the analysis in front of you and watching it and see where my mind's going. Yeah, so what I would do now is we're going to go into the pivots, not the pivots, the options. Get the the options correct. Has anyone been putting on the scanners on YouTube to use?
Yeah, I had a look at it yesterday. I put it on this morning, but it wasn't working.
It's not on till 9:30 now, because it clashes with this room, because I just haven't done I haven't got the API link yet. It's normally 24 hours from Google. I've got to now get an API link, and what I mean by that is I'm going to put the scanner as an API screener in the background, so I don't have to share it with Zoom, because if I have it on a Zoom in the morning, you can't then have a Zoom meeting now without interrupting it all. And then I got a backlash in comments for shutting it off for an hour or two when we were doing the live room. So I'm going to run it from 9:30. The good thing is there's 2 or 3 guys that are using it, and the first day I've got feedback 4% was made using the scanner, and yesterday 3% was made using the scanners. And people are posting the trades in that they're taking, and so for the amount of people that are finding it, not very many at the moment, but I would assume once it's been running a week or two, people will find it and we'll get a bit more feedback on it. And I've not had any feedback on it other than people are using it and making money, which is really, really nice. Apart from them telling me making money and I missed the bloody trade. I'm thinking, you're typing in, that's nice for you. But bloody hell, I'm put the scanner up and I missed that sudden trade. But there we go. But so the scanner will be running from 9:30 this morning, and it's finding multiple trades in the mornings. And you write the scanners and you use them. You think, yeah, I'll use it now and again. But flipping heck, they seem to be, it's set for 15-minute bar reversals and 15-minute fractal opportunities. But of course, if the 15-minute comes up, there's going to be a 5 as well. And then because it puts the other time frames up, seems to work really, really well. So yeah, I'm going to put it up on my I've got a big screen on the wall, so I'm going to have like a telly. So I'm going to have that constantly on the wall, scanning for all the trades, because the 3 trades that were out yesterday, I got one of them, which is a bit disappointing. Since it's my flipping scanner, I should get everything. But yeah, from 9:30 it'll be. I'll put the after this. I'll put the link. I've got the link. I'll show you if people don't know what I'm talking about, it's not in the room. I'll show you where they are. Where are they? Come on. So I just threw a link in yesterday and didn't really explain myself very well. So view my channel. Come on. There we are. So there is playlists, which it should come under playlists, which is live scanner list. I don't know why it's being viewed at 3 views an hour, because the live scanners, it's all hot. But if you press live, it should come up out there with the lives. So the scanners, there we are. That's today. So no, it isn't.
No, it's got upcoming.
Oh, there we are. Yeah, upcoming. So you just press notify or look, and I've only done it up to, I need to post some more in, so the different streams every day. And I don't know whether that one's too scary with a smiling face, but you know, everyone is used to seeing the grump. So so yeah, if you 9:30, just stick it on in the background. And I've got some noises that I'm going to be putting on. When I put that blue rhythm and blues on, I got a note off. I've caused a bit of a problem on YouTube because they said to me, I've got copyright infringement by playing the music in the background. So I wrote back to, so anyway, look at there you are, hit that if you would, and then you can give me some feedback on glitches. We had noise issues yesterday, and that was because of I was streaming from YouTube to another YouTube and two YouTubes streaming at once. So that wasn't brilliant. That was an issue. And yeah. So I've had to, they said I've got copyright infringement. It belongs to X, Y, and Z. I said, well, no, it doesn't. If that's what your tracker says, that's fine. But I got it off YouTube, publicly available information. And so I said, what channel is it? So I had to tell them the channel I got it from. And that channel might now get banned for they've got over millions of followers and they're streaming copyrighted info. So not directly, but unfortunately, I think I've caused another YouTube channel a load of problems.
Steve, doesn't it finish after 50 years? So if your tune's more than 50 years old, I think
so. This is really, really old music. And but anyway, they've said you've had copyright infringement, first strike, and that's the first strike I've ever had on YouTube. And I thought, oh shit, you know, three strikes and you're out. I've had one in a couple of years, but I didn't know. Let's just have a look at this 24/8. Well, I want to get it something for 40. I'm going to hit this one here, guys. 24/850. I think we'll get a wiggle on. 24/870 is where we should be going. I'm going to trade that one, guys. I'm just keeping an eye on this. Yeah, I want some under 40, and I'd like to at least get. I think we'll finish above the daily pivot today. So yeah, that's a good. Might be a good. I'm going to go for this now before it goes up any further. That's it was 31.32. So they've got a call option in there now, and I would like to trade it manually above the close as well. But you know, we wanted that pullback. We got back to 50%, and the market come back up. So I've got an opportunity to put two more in, so I can put up to 3 in. But yeah, I got that strike, and I wrote back, and the channel that I got the music off doesn't do any copyright acknowledgement or copyright whatsoever. So anyway, I've made up a sea sound. Well, I didn't make it up. I walked down to the beach with my mobile phone and recorded the sea as the background music. So that can't be, it's definitely not copyrighted. And that'll be the background music. And I think, where is it? Where is it? Can I play it? Open with. Where's it gone? Where's it play? It's not playing. Oh, it's downloading. So anyway, that will be. Come on, play. Right.
Hey, Steve. Steve, just have a look at Epidemic Sound. They reckon they've got
I can hear that.
50,000. Eh? Epidemic Sound. They reckon they've got 50,000 tracks that are copyright free.
Hang on a sec, I can't turn this off now. I'm sorry. Hang on. I can't turn it off. Right. So what was that thing, Kevin? Sorry.
Epidemic, as in epidemic, sound.
Yeah.
Just have a look at that website. They reckon they've got 50,000 copyright free
Right.
sounds you can use, tunes you can use.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got. Thank you. I'll have a look at that. I just wasn't. I didn't deliberately try and do a copyright version issue, and it was totally by accident. Create free account, bring the idea, we bring the sound. Right. Okay. Well, I'll have a look at that. But I've recorded some sea waves and that for the background because it's nothing worse than having a silence, but rolling sea. I like that rhythm. I like that blues background stuff. But if I'll see if I've asked anyway for a review of what I used to see if they'll allow me to use it because, well, we'll see. I'm just saying that's what happened. But yeah, please put the scanner on. It's making money. The irritating thing, a little bit, I guess, is it's making money for people outside of the trading room. And it should be making money for people inside the trading room as well. But there you go. So I'll put that on at 9:30.
Steve,
Yes.
just I went on yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, and I couldn't get into the chat. I don't know if it was something I was doing, but I could see the stream fine, but the chat on the right hand side just wasn't there. Is that something you've got to enable? Is it or
No, that's a problem your side, mate.
oh, is it okay?
Yeah. It's a I don't mean that was a bit blunt, that wasn't it? It's you screwed it up. I didn't mean to say it that way. Yeah, it's you can't use it, you idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, you're such the wordsmith, Steve, honestly.
Let's have a look here. I'll see if I can run an old one. Is there an old one, an old one, an old one, an old one? Where's an old one? Yesterday's. Yeah, there is some buttons that you can.
Where literally anybody.
Right, there we are. I'll put it on. Right, so see here at the bottom of the panel, you'll have that button. If you can't see anything here, then there's a button here that you say open, and it opens a chat.
Okay.
And then
where you go.
You then you can see what people are saying and what they're actually doing, and then people bitching about making only 1% and stuff like that. But yeah, it all comes up. But I've got a new view. Today I've got rid of the client sentiment and I've put the charts side by side. And then it'd be nice. It's just I can get some blunt feedback from the room from here. Just people let me know if it works. Okay, and so because this hardly moves with the client sentiment, so if I go put a bigger graph that side and another graph this side, then set this to just the things that we like to trade in the room, really. So hyper focus, and then stream the pivots, stream the fracks and everything else. And the 9 EMAs yellow because it doesn't show up blue very good. And then within here, it should tell you how to use it. Yeah. So I need to check before I stream today's. I need to get rid of the top right. So, but yeah, it should work. It should work good. When I get the API, I'll be able to run it in the background constantly for people. So if you're in the US or down under or anywhere which is outside of our time zone, and you want to have a look at what's happening with commodities and FX and all that type of stuff, and you are interested in the 15-minute time frame, it'll just line the 15 fracks up, the 1 hour pullbacks, the 15-minute bar reverses. Of course, if you don't know the strategy, it won't mean a lot to you. But yeah, it's kind of a scanner for traders, not for someone trying to work out how to trade. So the people that use it, the people that understand trading really, because they'll know what they're looking at, and it'll stop all the flack. It'll all stop all the baseball cappers. And
sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Now I've seen people using it and making money, I'm going to take more notice myself, because you write it and you think, yeah, it's good, it'll work, no problem whatsoever, and then people are reporting they're making money out of it, and I'm sat there staring at the abyss and thinking, why the hell didn't I see that? So I need to start watching it. Rather than just streaming it. I'm using it myself. I'll have it. I'll be switch. Obviously, if I'm streaming it, I can see it, and I'm going to stream it onto the telly on the wall, and then when I'm walking around the office, and I can see if something comes up. We've got an alert triggered. Right, so this is my breakout now. So we should be doing quite nicely on the call options. Now, if you do the call options, yes, we now can sell those for 37 and a bit. So that's very nice indeed. And I would like to try and get a 5-minute fracker out of this. Could also do a 15-minute bar breakup, which is that one there. And the stop would be under the 15-minute bar. But that's going to be, and I want to head into this pivot here. And then higher, of course, into camera the breakout long would be an obvious target to go for today, after it started from such a low position. A nice pullback here would be great. Let's get into the 5-minute. Well, that could produce a fractal for us. So keep an eye on this, because we could get a multi-bagger on this. We've got over 1% on this. We had a 42 pip stop, 48 pip target. So a little bit better than 1, but it's 1 really, isn't it? Thereabouts. So if we can get a fractal break on here, then that would be nice. But just above the we need to we've had the close above the 4 hour. I'll mark it in so you can see it. It's all a bit messy here. It's all a bit noisy here, but we've had that. That's the 4 hour break. So although we're still negative on the 1 hour, if we get above the daily pivot and the market switches back over to fully bullish, and if we can get a fracker here, which hopefully this won't push up, got 4 minutes to go. We need this bar to be lower than this bar, and then we can put a break in. And then the fractal will draw under here. I'll turn the fractals on rather than explain it. There they are, the fractals there. So you can see it's about to draw there. I want to at least see the daily pivot but ideally see the C-vol today. So we do have the headroom up to C-vol quite easy on a 1-to-1 with that potential fractal. Gold's getting a wiggle on now, which is okay. 12 pips up on gold. We'll go to gold in a minute. You can see what's happening with saber rattling going on and everything. We've got AI is really affecting the tech stocks. I went through this kind of list yesterday, didn't I, of what we should be looking at if you're a share person, but I'm going to start trading these on a day trading basis, but with an algorithm for Microsoft, Google, Oracle, CrowdStrike, Planetaire, you know, those type of companies. And we're shorting all the companies that do booking. You know, when you're booking stuff, because AI is just going to destroy those companies. And anyone that's doing if involved in HR software, HR companies, or CRM, or, you know, doing tax. So if you're a booker of any sort, or you're a CRM expert, or you're a solicitor, an accountant, going to have real problems because of AI's taking over. So we want to be looking at shorting Salesforce, Intuit, which is TurboTax, QuickBooks. They're going to go at the ground. These companies I'm talking about have already lost over 25% this year in value. Workday, which is HR finance as well. DocuSign, that should go bankrupt, actually, you would think, because GPT sign is free and it does the same job. HubSpot, which was the big marketing automation, no longer needed. It's all free now. You don't have to pay for it. And SAP as well, big people. So that will, and when SAP starts to really hurt, Germany will hurt as well in the index, because it's a big part of their constituent drivers in the DAX. What else? Concentrics as well, which is online help and call centers to India. You can get AI chat bots now without the Indian accents. That's good. They're going to sort that out as well. Dropbox as well, if that's still alive. File storage. Well, it's just been overrun by AI now. What else is there? That's about it, really. But, you know, I've got a lot of ideas this year for, if anyone's interested in my view on what's on the shares of what's probably, you know, from an AI perspective, what companies are going to be probably hot to trot because of AI enablement, and what companies are probably going to suffer. Quite happy to jot something down. I'm writing bots for all this, so that will be interesting. So we have got an established fractal break. There we are. And now, hopefully, if this doesn't come down, if this is a shallower pullback, then ideally this will start to give us a nice pattern for the climb, moving up. So if we can get something up here and then get that running, that will be good. But we can measure this now. and see where the depth is at. So it's quite large, that, isn't it? 69. What's it? 1.7, 1.7-ish. 69, 70, 73 pips. Got lots of headroom into Camarilla breakout long. Can't get the right number. 25 I want. Hopefully we'll get a shallower fractal, but for the moment, and that's good. Again, you know, if the market does come down to these levels again, then I certainly would be happy to look for 24 800s or thereabouts as a call to add to the calls. What? Just see if the FTSE needs to come back for me to get involved, and if it comes back to Camarilla breakout long as a base to bounce from, then I'd be quite happy to trade that. A quick squiz at gold. So this is the thing that really annoyed me this morning. These are the bread and butter trades that I kind of do in this area that kind of annoyed me, that I'm too busy arguing with GPT to actually make money rather than write a bloody report. So hence the incoherent entry here, which should have been here. Was there a 15-minute bar? Yeah, there was a 15-minute bar as well. Yeah, there's a grade 2 and a grade 1 bar there. What time was that? 7:45. So I'm in there anyway, and I'm, because of the the volatility's come down significantly. If you look, push it on the 4-hour for the day, you can see we've come down from what was nearly 300, well, 240, back down into some reasonable levels. But with what's on the horizon and things progressively, unemployment going up quite across the piece, really, and economics not being particularly good. We'll have to see there's a speech tonight at 5:45 to see Fred Barr's speech on where state of the nation. We'll, wait and see what happens there. At 10 o'clock, we've got the economic sentiment survey on Europe, and be quite interesting that, because SAP will drop straight into that conversation as well, and how that's going to be affected. A more important thing that's happening is the ADP employment change is becoming quite a good heads up for NFP. That reminds me, tomorrow we've got a monster dividend trade over 28 pips for the FTSE. So my task, when I tasked this morning, is to simplify the dividend trade, because there's 4 parts to it, and those 4 parts are no longer very, very consistent like they used to be. So we're going to take it down to 2 parts, and 2 parts only, make it very simplistic, because the 2 parts that I'm going to talk about do work. The extra bits are can be retired. The 4:25 little blip up and then the 20-second bounce afterwards, they're quite advanced trades, and you don't need them. If we can get 2% out of the out of the dividend trade, then that should be quite nice. So divvy trades on Wednesday, and the other trade that I I did forget about it really, was its options expiry this Friday at 10:10. So we'll be doing that live as well. So quite a few different trades on, which brings me to so what we're looking at here is you can do a 15-minute frac or a 15-minute bar on here, which ever takes your fancy. We have dropped under the 200 EMA, but not the 400. We're sat right on it. And as you can see, can I use my pen on here? Get a yellow color. The market, if you draw the trend on a 4-hour, it is very slowly going up, starting to flatten a little bit. But yesterday, the trend was ever so slightly continuing to grow, like this fashion here. So on the 4-hour, we've still got gold on a bit of a movement to the top side, although it has dropped on the 1-hour. So the trend is your friend on the 4-hour, of course, with a low touch to knock out all these stops. I think this is freeing up positions on gold. But one thing we've got to bear in mind, that gold is definitely going to go up this year, and silver again, because of all the uncertainty that's going on in the marketplace at the moment. And there's going to be a big push for interest rate reductions this year. And if interest rates go down, so does bond yields, they go down. Therefore, gold is going to go up anyway. But with all the uncertainty that's going on and the potential for Japanese yen to unbalance US debt, because it holds so much of it, and the new PM has said they're going to hold food prices for the next few years, and they've got a massive infrastructure plan, and the only way they're going to get money, they said they're not going to raise taxes, is to sell the US debt. So that'll cause an even bigger problem with the US as well. So gold and silver, I think, are going to be quite interesting to hold. Very volatile and quite interesting to trade as well. So we'll wait and see. Actually, having said that, I'm going to turn my gold bot Pac-Man on now. Just have a look, see what I've got up here. Yeah, I'm going to turn that on now. This is two of the bots. One's working on BTC and the other one on Amazon, shorting it. Right. So, yeah. 15-minute bar, next 15-minute bar, or a 15-minute fractal. The market's very volatile for 5 minutes at the moment. If we could see a series of nice, tight, higher highs and higher lows, then we could revert into 5 minutes. But I think the only time I use 5 minutes is on the early morning switch over from 5 o'clock till 7 o'clock. And I missed those trades. I missed that trade this morning. That's why I got a little bit annoyed with myself. And but yeah, so a breakup of here would be good on a fractal. Just going to put that, it's a wee bit lower. Where's my alert gone? Let's use this fast alert then. No, I want to use my right bloody alert. Right. Where do I want the alert? 49.28. Right. So, oh, all the boxes come on right before my eyes. So yeah, but the scalpers come on and Pac-Man's come on. So I think yeah, we'll let that go. I'll look at. I'm not interested really in silver. Silver does need to get a bit more of a wiggle on. It's in a different place than gold, and whereas gold, yeah, you can ever so slightly. You can see. I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but I move these just to give me a heads up every morning. You can see it slowly, whereas gold is slowly creeping up on the 4-hour EMA. Silver is continually coming down. One thing I must add on gold: do not forget the cycles on gold. We do get a market rebalance in March, and the rebalance usually ends up with gold being sold off and dipping into March. And that is a time to actually buy gold when we get that rebalance and dip. But go back over all the gold stuff that I've put in there, and it's in the folders, and you'll see, and the reports and the PDF that I wrote, and it's on. If you haven't got the PDF, you can download it again. It's on the website. So I'm mindful of gold coming in, moving into a rebalancing period into March, which coincides with the rebalance of quarterly options, of course. And then after March is done, then we should see a little run up now into March and then a sell off, and then after that sell off has occurred, or the rebalance as they call it, then we're back on. As far as silver's concerned, I'm not going to touch it. I've been shorting natural gas, and I'll continue to look for shorts in natural gas now until we start breaking structure, and I want structure broken. There's no structure to be broken yet. But nat gas for me will be a short. I'm just going to put an alert and short it back down to there. Unless it continues to break up, then that would be good. So DAX has given us it. So again, with we're going to put a big red marker on that one. With here, we don't take the first fractal because we've got no real positivity started in cash hours yet. If that was another flat there, then you probably would take that as a breakup. The issue we've got, of course, here is that we're just above the 4-hour EMA, but the 1-hour 200 EMA is up there. So we want to take a break of this top fractal here, but we could take the stop as being here. So I wouldn't want to take that one, although it might work. I want a definite break above the close. So with that in mind, we're kind of looking really at a 60 pip stop rather than a 60 pip stop. So we can do a 60 pip stop now, reset this. Don't need, this is just going for a 1-to-1 risk reward. We've got a new fractal base there, which is a little bit closer to that daily pivot. While we're kind of watching that there, I can show, I have done and published, a lot of people have found it. I'll go through people who are doing 15-minute bars, this is a kind of aid for the 15 bar. I might just rename it the 15-minute bar because it's a 415 in some of the documents and 15-minute bars in the other. In other words, what it really means is the key, and people getting too hung up about the 15-minute bar being over the 200 and the 400, 200 EMA, but it isn't. The 15-minute bar is all about the 4-hour EMA and then into the 15. And that's why it's called the 15-minute bar. But there are different levels of using the 15-minute bar. There's a beginners and an advanced. And I'm going to put that into one document. And we could call it just a 15-minute bar and explain why, as a beginner, you might not see everything. So that's unfolding in front of you. So use the 1 and 4, use the 1 hour and the 4-hour 200 EMA to do your trade. Once you understand a little bit more about it, you'll spot other things where you don't need the 1 hour to be aligned. You just need the 4-hour to be aligned and the 15-minute. This is an aid to help you catch a 15-minute trade and the reasons why you shouldn't be trading on the open, especially on the FTSE and the DAX, but it goes for all of the indices. This is by way of an example. And there's just a lot of algorithmic trading goes on at the open and the last 10 minutes or so onto the close for these indices. You need to be aware of that. So what I've put together is, specific days you should be aware of, and eventually found out some of the reasons why the DAX does get a real big rah-rah on a Friday. So done a lot of investigations into this, not just typed it down off the top of my head, but a really good way of you can do as much investigation as you possibly want, but the market won't exactly tell you that there is pension fund money that enters into the market on the first of the month, but it does. So trading on the first trading day of the month is always great because we get a new injection of money, but you also get a rebalance anyway for people taking profits, larger private houses and institutions taking profits because they are managed by managers who get paid for profit per month. So money goes back into the markets as well as PAYE. On the FTSE on Wednesday, like tomorrow, is going to be a dividend day. And when you get a good dividend, 10 pips or more, a lot of institutions push because they want the 10x divvy payout. Tomorrow is over 28 pips, so we will see a big push. And it's quite apt that this is out now. We can prove it tomorrow that this will work. So a big divvy day, and we're going to trade the divvy in the afternoon. Hopefully we'll do quite well out of that. Again, the psychological on a Monday, when the trend is bullish, after all the algo trading and the gaps that are done, that are traded, people want to trade for the weekend. The market does shoot up. So you want to look for the markets getting into a trend where the 15-minute bar supports that particular trend. And on a Friday, and especially the third Friday of the month, there is an auction period at 1 Central Eastern Time, so that's 12 o'clock. So when I mention at 12 o'clock, if we're above the daily pivot and it's rattling, it's because there's an auction period that goes on in the DAX. And when, especially on the third Friday of every month, institutions are looking for everything to track quite nicely, and they are pushing to get a smooth pattern into the index, into the close. And so you'll see a lot of flows going into the close, and if it's positive, then those floors get pushed, and it causes the market to actually rise. And it's just looking at the smoothing out of the NAV, which is the net asset value, which is the value of the trades minus the carry costs, minus the trade transactions, minus the spreads for buying and selling, and smoothing out. And the exchange needs all this to be done on a Friday. And when that's done on a Friday for a clean sweep, we've just been clicked in on the DAX to go higher again. That's what causes everything to smooth out. So lots and lots of small buys, pushing out, squeezing out, getting multiple points to smooth out the net asset value. So that's why we get a bit of a ride. That's why Friday afternoons can be quite nice. On the DAX stock, I've got good, better, best, and the gold standard, which trying to get the 15-minute, the 1 hour, and a 4 hour all pulled back in one go. It kind of doesn't get any better than that. But getting a 15 and a 1 hour together on a pullback on the stock is brilliant. So this is your heads up on what to do with the stochastic. So really, if you can get the gold standard with either the first trading day of the month, a Wednesday, a Monday after 1:30, or the third Friday of every month, they are that would be home run trades. Okay. And things to avoid. Do not place a 15-minute bar order in the first 15 minutes of the open, because people are going for the gap, and there is an open gap in the market, and it just causes mayhem. So avoid the first few minutes. So what you want to be doing is avoiding the first 15 minutes, ideally after the first 30 minutes, but after 15 you'd probably be okay. So placing a trade within 30 minutes of the market closing, which is crazy, because people are volatility does go up, and especially if this happens on a Friday, and if the Friday is the last trading day of the month as well, the market goes all over the place and is likely to short rather than do anything else. So an obvious one, but write it in nevertheless: do not place any 15-minute bar trades within 30 minutes of a news release. I was going to put the more detail in there, which meant that if you do it within an hour of a news release, it's got to be stopped at entry. But I've got to give the benefit of the doubt of the reader. It's pretty obvious that, I would think. Placing a long trade in the last hour when it is the last trading day of the month or the quarter, because the markets do sell off, as you're aware. But this is just a reminder. Don't keep putting your 15-minute bar. If you get a 15-minute bar short, then you're probably okay. But no, probably okay, but you're going to see volatility. But you're better off just avoiding it. And the FTSE, third Friday of the month, sees quarterly, monthly and quarterly options strikes all expire. It causes them quite a big imbalance. So look for trades after 10:30. So this Friday, for instance, don't try and do a 15-minute bar before options expire, because some of the big institutions that have options that want to get out of the market will manipulate the market, and you can get false readings. So hopefully it's not too much there, but it's a little bit extra for people who are wanting to really practice the 15-minute bar. And it's something you can pin up and take note of. And if you want to employ the 15-minute bar just on the best days, then you can pick the specific days: a Monday, a Wednesday, a Friday. Look at your stock, and you can do a filter for all this and put it in. You could even, as an exercise, you could even write a filter for the pro screener. So when all the conditions are met, it says, hey, don't forget the 15-minute bar on whatever asset you're going to do it on, you know. Hopefully that'll help. It's only 2-pager. Is there anything on there that you didn't already know? Is that a help, or is it just going over something you understood anyway? Silence.
I think every little bit helps, Steve. So.
Yeah. There'd be quite a lot of things I think you probably understand anyway, but it's always worth writing these down, being explicit. Putting all these things into every single trade just makes, I don't know, whether it makes the strategy too long and confuses people, because people need to get used to employing the strategy. But then if you tell them, yeah, the strategy is good, but on all these days it's different. In all these conditions, it's different. And by the way, avoid all this, and people just look at you as though you're from Planet Zog, and you think, too much detail. But this is the extra detail that you actually need to make this a super duper, very high probability trade. And you will eventually, if you haven't already do it, for the guys in the room, know this thing inside out anyway, and intuitively you'll know what to avoid, what not to avoid. But worth pinning on the wall.
Steve, for me, I kind of like to see the of examples of those different different types of trades, like like a couple of minute videos. If there's ever a chance, you could or you see the option of, I'm in the middle of this, kind of screen record this and put it up in the group or something. Visually, I find it best. Like to see you practicing what you are teaching, if that makes sense. Only if you can.
When I'm looking at something, highlight to you why I'm going to do this and not do this.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, or even when you're not even in the group, you're doing the live sessions. If you if you feel like that's
spot something, right?
Yeah, so
because you're going to have to. It's not good doing a video telling people what I've just written down. I don't know, it might be using a historical chart and picking on a 15-minute bar and explaining why that went good and that went bad, or just doing a live 15-minute bar.
Yeah,
Which one did you mean?
I think just looking at, where you said the gold standard, good and better or whatever, this is an example of the gold, this is the example of the better, that's just me. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but I don't know.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could do. Yeah, it's not an issue really. I can do that. It probably would help the odd guy out on YouTube as well. Maybe they wouldn't have a Scooby-Doo what you're talking about, because in no way you're going to give anyone the strategy on YouTube. But we could just do a little 5-minute one to say, look, blah 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 in the room.
Yeah,
and post that as a public thing, because how would it be of any? It'd be of use. It'd be of general use. Yeah, but it's a one-shot job, is it? Once you watch, you think, oh, yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I think those videos, like on your YouTube channel, they were the reason that I came to and joined. So those small videos where you get like a couple of minutes and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it, that type of thing. I think that small pieces of information, but obviously we get it from a different angle where we've got the actual strategy. And then once you've got the strategy, then we can watch the videos and the actual trades that you promote in that strategy then as well. It just gives it a bit of visualization to what you're actually telling us to look for.
Okay. I don't mind doing any. I haven't done any videos for a long time on YouTube because, well, I couldn't be bothered to be honest with you. I get, because I'm not a YouTuber really. I don't do it for all the adverts and any revenue. I do it to help people, and I'm thinking, well, how much more do you put on YouTube where you start unraveling or revealing things that people are in the room? And to be honest with you, most people on YouTube, the people that are interested will probably, I suppose I could do a refresh, the 15-minute bar plus, and then just the pluses, and you can do this. And then to intrigue people a little bit more and help people a bit more.
It's a little bit learning to read the candles, isn't it? In the setup, I think. Yeah, and whether it's more the ones not to take rather than the ones you do take.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I mean? Yeah, because it's like me yesterday. You know, I knew I was going against a 4-hour on the silver. Yeah, but so it just looked a lovely setup, and as I say, it seemed to be ranging. But anyway,
Steve, what you just showed us a minute ago, whereabouts is that hiding on the OneDrive? That 15-minute bar document.
Oh, that's ominous. Where is it hiding?
I just had
I'm going to pull it up this very moment and show you.
Thanks, Steve.
Before it comes up, where do you think the 15-minute bar document would be?
In the 15-minute bar strategies.
Yeah.
I couldn't see trading strategies. Then you've got all the quarters.
Where is the 15 one? There it is.
I don't know.
There it is.
There, this guy. Okay, thanks, Steve.
Oh, right.
No worries.
I've got another question, but you're really going to slap me with this one.
I'm not. Ask anything you want, fella.
Well, I'm looking at DAX and I can't see. I can't see the theory behind the long trades today.
Right.
So I'm looking at it and I'm seeing short, and I can't. And of course, the trades are working and they work fantastic. I mean, I followed you in on the DAX close this morning, but I wouldn't, if I hadn't have been online, I wouldn't have took the trade because I'm seeing a downtrend.
Right. Okay. You're right with the down. When the market was below here, hang on a second. It won't bloody work. Right. So if we switch the trades off for one moment and switch the fractals off,
All right.
and maybe just switch the EOD cash pivots off a minute. So what we have got here is the market this morning quite clearly trading under the 4-hour and under the 1-hour trend, because there's a 1-hour trend here and the 4-hour trend was down here. So you're absolutely spot on with the markets in a downtrend, and it's trading under the 9 EMA. So yeah, we were here. So it's trading under 9 EMA. So we are very, very bearish on all the technical EMAs from a technical perspective. What we miss is that this is a cash market. And as a cash market, it is a market maker's job to keep the market in balance. So for the market to be in balance, the market needs to be brought up to the position it closed into the previous day, the close there.
Right.
Okay. So that's a market inefficiency and a balance. And you've got the market with you, even against a trend, because the market makers are going to want to trade that. Coupled with, it was President's Day yesterday, everyone just walked away from the market. News come out about AI on tech stocks, and what's one of the biggest constituents in tech stocks? It is SAP and AI in, what is it? Volkswagen, Porsche, BMW. They all come back. So the market's just, bollocks to that. It's all dropped off. So that's an imbalance as well. It's people's knee-jerk reaction. So you've got to look at the technicals, understand the macroeconomics as well, and the market function. And very importantly, the market function is that this gap, the market makers are going to be trying to close that gap there. So that was the first tick. It's a market function to close that gap. coupled with an extraordinary pullback with no reason to do that, apart from the saber rattling and the news releasing about AI. But we kind of know that anyway. But that news, as it gets reinforced more and more and more, that these big software tech companies are going to be using more and more AI. So they're going to be actually, if they're not using AI aggressively, they're going to be losing lots of jobs, which is bad news. So, it's, this news doesn't help and brings things down. So the first thing is there was a gap. In closing that gap, the market then moved as a day trader from a negative market to a bullish market above the 4-hour EMA. On that close as well, it also then turned price action positive because we're trading above the 9 EMA. So market function, then we managed a close above the 4-hour EMA, so it is no longer bearish market, it's a bullish market, and the price action's bullish. So then as a day trader, you want to be getting into kind of pivot action then, because the institutions use the pivots. For God's sake, you're bullish above the 4-hour EMA. You've got a market inefficiency close above the close, and you are now trading above the 9 EMA. As long as you're above the 9, well, I don't know why bloody PRT keeps doing this. So long as you're above the 9 EMA, then you're fine. The reason I have the daily pivot as a target is because that's really close to the 1-hour confirmation, but also of a fully bullish, strong bullish market, is that this is the daily pivot. The price of this market is around this pivot. So there is a very high probability at some point today that this market is going to hit that pivot and either close below the pivot or close above the pivot, but it will get to the pivot. It nearly always gets to the pivot during the day. So market function, bullish trend, price action, bullish. As soon as the market pushes up to here, people will all see this and everybody else will be trading this long as well. But as soon as we get to the daily pivot, we now need to be very careful to see if the pivot boys, in other words, the guys that buy the pivot every day, and there's lots of them on a bullish market because it's bullish when it's there, will buy the pivot and put the stop under the previous low. And they'll do that every single day. Because that's a strategy.
Thanks, Steve.
That's an old hat strategy. It works a lot more often than it fails. And I've not really done a test of it to see if it will make 1% a week, but it probably could. But that's the rationale. That's what's going through my mind when I'm thinking about how to continue trading this. And so long as, the holy grail really of a day trader is on the 15-minute, you want to be above that 9 EMA. As long as you are trading above that 9 EMA, you're bullish. So long as, we've got the tick box here.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, we've got the 4-hour 200 EMA, the 9 EMA on the 15.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pivot working as a magnet.
Yeah. And this is on the reel of the day trading relay. There's a guy sat here with a baton waiting to pick the baton up to run like hell.
Yeah.
Will you get the baton?
Do you think they would sell the pivot, Steve? Like the pivot boys? Like if they're approaching the pivot from underneath in a downtrend, do you think they would sell the pivot and go for S1?
Absolutely, yes. If you are kind of, if this daily pivot was there, the 90, the 200 EMA on the 4-hour was there, and then you had the 1 hour kind of there as well, that would be a screaming sell.
Right.
But We don't. It's the complete opposite. Once we're here, it's a screaming buy.
Right. Cool. Thanks, Steve.
So that's in the back of my mind all the time is always that worry with I need maybe do some analysis of the DAX constituent parts and how many companies are in the DAX 40 that are really tech focused that complement AI, or would AI dislodge them? SAP it'll dislodge. So, you want to be looking at companies that, so that's it really. I can feel myself going down a whole new track, so I'll stop. So yeah.
No worries. Thanks, Steve.
My mind's like a box of bees. But yeah, this should, like this morning, it went up and like coughed a little bit and come down, but that gap was, that it was always gonna be pushed through. The issue we've got now is, have we got the market's going to go up? Have we got the right stop? That's the issue. And we've got call options in to make that call that will be right at the end of the day. The market's going to push through. But within the price action structures that we use, fractal structures, are we using the right structure? And that kind of looks okay to me here, because the market has done a dive down indecision candle and still closed above the 9 EMA. That's only in a 5 minute. We've on the 15 minute, you can see on the 50 minute, there's no hesitation whatsoever that this market is trading above the 15 EMA. There's no hesitation in that whatsoever. Is it going to go to C-ball? Well, it's going to run out of steam around about 9:30-ish, probably, and then have a pullback.
Yeah.
And then I would think carry on. And there's people going to be pulling the trigger early on the pivot.
Yeah.
Well. So the pivot boys would probably like to see the pivot hit, pull back, and then a break of the pivot to go long. These are all these different strategies that we're aware of, but we don't necessarily use because we have our own strategies. But so long as you know that those do exist and what other people will be are doing, you might just want to pull some profits here. So here's another good point as well. We're close to this. We're coming up to this pivot. The pivot is like 3/4 of the way there. So, and it's not very far below the pivot. What might happen is the market could run up to the pivot and then get a pullback and stop you out for a stop to entry, because by the time you're up here, you stop to entry anyway. The other thing you could do is, as the market gets up to the pivot, you could drop down into, let's say, a 2-minute bar. And if you start seeing in 2 minutes this action start really pulling back, you may as well take 3/4 of the profit, half the profit, because you don't know what percentage pullback you're going to get. And then you can sit and wait for that next long that'll take you through to Camara breakout long. That's, when you're kind of thinking through what happens around these pivots and you can't get your one-to-one into there, then you've got to make sure you're going to protect what profit that you have got. Or you keep your stop all the way down here and let the market breathe and go through. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's going in slowly.
Because if it doesn't make sense, it just means I'm not explaining it.
No,
right.
it does. It does make sense. It's the trouble is that I've got to break the way the mind works from years of trading in a different way.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's quite hard. You have to really sort of bang it in.
You still got the second
Yeah, yeah,
the second strategy in your
yeah.
head.
Because I would be with the downtrend, the daily pivot there, the high, the previous high. I'd probably be selling the pivot all day long, putting the stop above C-bowl, targeting the close.
Right.
Not saying I would place that trade. I wouldn't, but that's the old way of thinking.
Okay. Okay.
Well, Stephen,
Yeah.
would it be possible for you to just edit this bit you've just done? Because I think it's really interesting explaining all this. Yeah, it's from about 9:15. Yeah, I actually wrote it down. And
You
yeah,
could
this
actually
is the
cut it out
last
yourself
15
as well, you
minutes.
know. You could
Sorry?
actually cut the video out yourself.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, of course you can. They're there,
Oh, right.
downloading. I haven't said this for a long, long time, but what I usually say on one-to-ones with new people, I forgot to do this, is if there's something really interesting that was a learning point to you on the video, is download the video. After I've uploaded it, you can download. You can. I've made it available so you can download anything. You download the video, slice out the bit that you found interesting, and cut it down to a 2 or 3 minute video, and then you can keep that as a, reaffirming an explanation. And then you just put write a little Word document
Yeah.
with a video link into it, with a video link into your machine, and say, this is an explanation of why this market worked in this way. Have a look at it. And then you can just pull your document up, and you have a document called interesting stuff or something like that. And it has a link in it, and it links back to your 2 minute video that you cut out, and say, all right, I'll rewatch that.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I could cut it out as well and stick it on.
Well, I just think it's been really certainly for me, very useful to so I've got a lot more understanding about how we're trading the DAX Open.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Or and I presume it runs the same for if you want to do the NASDAQ and things at lunchtime.
It does. Yeah. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. Yeah.
But anyway, thanks very much. I thought that was very useful.
Yeah. All right. Cheers. Anyone just shout out, because it's not just a trading room. We're all can learn off each other, some of the things that we do, and Andy's explanation of, because Andy's been trading a long, long time as well. And there's lots and lots of strategies that work. And if you've got a whole bunch of strategies in your head that do work, and then some Muppets asking you to forget those and do a new one, it's hard to unlearn something you've already learned that actually might have worked. And for instance, Andy said he would have sold the daily pivot. Well, yeah, actually selling the daily pivot could work for the simple reason you might have a price exhaustion. And is a market liable to run an average true range? Where's the average true range on the DAX? 280 pips. So the market set up early this morning. It's, it might well be it's getting to a stop above the pivot. In actual fact, if you put a stop up here, if you sell the pivot there might be a chance on profit taking that actually works, because the market's done its average true range for the day. People have took their money. The market exhausts and drops back down. Now you know where the daily pivot is as well. You could trade against the trend by actually trading up to the C-ball area, and then putting as well as taking profit into the C-ball, you can short it, because the average true range, you don't expect the average true range to be hit, especially on a day where there's no big news that's going to make it move. So you could get double bubble. These are kind of things that you got to keep in your mind all the time. when is it exhausted? When is the average exhausted? If it's exhausted, if I have a stop above the exhaustion point, well, I'm highly likely not to get hit. But if you try to go for exhaustion point as a target, you're highly likely not to hit that point going up. Doesn't mean to say you won't, but you're likely not to. So selling a pivot, it could work. But once you're on the pivot, you are positive. Right, guys, I'm going to go. Don't forget, into here, if you want to, you can at least do a stop to entry on here. And you could even get this down into 1 minute. If you and if it touches that pivot, why not take some rupees? Because of the all the things I've just explained, that would be the reason why you would probably take it. Yeah.
Well, what's your thoughts on a C-bowl wall trade, Steve?
C-bowl auto trade. There isn't a C-bowl trade.
No, the wall trade, the bounce on C-bowl.
Oh, well, the wall trade's an R3.
Ah, right.
That's a cam trade.
Cam trade, sorry.
Yeah. And because you're on the cam trade, because this is a cam trade and the market is now positive, it's a weak cam trade because CBOS would be the bounce. And if you're on CBOS, then it's the wrong one. It's C-bol, because if you're down here, it's negative, and that's the the market position with regard to the 200 EMAs is crap. So can you see here where the market's hesitating?
Yeah.
I think here around C-bol, no one would crucify you for taking profit at there and waiting to see what happened. If the market then breaks out above C-bol, above the daily pivot, then happy days. You know?
Yeah. Lovely. Thanks, Steve.
No worries. Right. Well, I'll go. I'll think about cutting that edit out as well. Might be interesting to give people a heads up as well. You know what happens in market function. Be quite interesting to see what the baseball cap wearers do. I can see Paul taking his off now.
See what they have to say.
Well, Paul's in America, so he's going to get the American wares, I guess. How many baseball caps do you own, Paul?
Oh God, I've got at least 3 North Carolina ones. So
there you go.
I've got.
I know what's going to happen. We're going to do a 1-to-1 one day. He's going to turn it with a big smile on his face and a baseball cap the wrong way around.
You just know it.
And a pair of sunglasses on as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, your Ray-Bans. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for you, Steve, to get the whole group a pair of Ray-Bans.
Do you know what? I was talking to my old man. He said, "You must be mad if Ray-Ban want to give you a whole bunch of different glasses, you know, computer glasses as well, of course, and all that. So you just take the bloody glasses and get on with it." I thought, oh, right.
A man after my own heart.
So I don't know. I've not answered them. No. Right.
I'll
well,
have some.
give me a minute, or give me 2-3 minutes, and I'll launch the scanner on the other, and I'll get off here and launch it on YouTube and see what you think with the water background and shit, and we can get on with that. But yeah, if you want to take the profit around here, because it is a fractal breakout, no one's going to shout at you. You just have to have a word with yourself if it breaks through here, and then you can do a fractal breakout towards C-bol. Right. All right, guys. And don't forget gold. All right. Cheers, guys. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye-bye.